Hello, everyone. I'm Christina, and I know it's been 5 days. I hope y'all can be patient with me. A lot goes on in personal life, but that doesn't mean I'm not keeping an eye on what is going on, in our crazy world. I keep up with it, and I love to come and chat with all of you about that. And while I'm getting started, I want to thank all of my new subscribers, welcome all of my new friends to the channel, and I especially want to give Paul and Adrian a special shout out for having a lot to do with that. They're the most wonderful people that it's hard to find people with hearts that big, and they have a wonderful channel, Off-Grid Desert Farming, and Adrian is one of my moderators. Love them. So thank you. Welcome all of you guys, and I'm so glad that you're all here. Hello, Pyrotechnic. Good to see you. P for Plenty and Betty. Hello. So good to see you guys. Love it when y'all say hello, and thank you for the thumbs up. Ow, ow, ow. The cats. They're getting really playful, and they're scratching my toes. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So the title of this live stream is Boy, Are You Going to Pay? But really, we all are. Okay, because we've been watching things develop, and I was letting you guys know pretty far ahead of time what I believed was on the way. Some of it was what I was just outright feeling. The Holy Spirit was talking to me, and then things started actually coming out in the news, and it's just gotten to this point where even the feds are warning that you're going to pay much higher prices for your heating, your electricity. There are even articles out talking about rolling blackouts even during these times, right? So this is something that you really want to keep up with. And everybody's like, okay, well, we learned from last winter. We're going to go ahead and get us some propane heaters. Well, the problem now is that propane is, according to one article, expected to go up by 53%. Right. So get it while the getting's good, because they're already paying pretty high gas prices as it is in some places. Right. Hello, Andrea Roberts from Australia. Hello. That's awesome. Teresa, glad to see you back. Sunshine, love you. Mark Rufner, welcome back. Okay. JWTV, I'll do that. I definitely take a look. Water went up, electricity too, food. Exactly. And they're talking, I mean, it's something I was mentioning, over the last couple of weeks, but now it's starting to hit home. Hello, Christy Harp, welcome. Alrighty. I got to come down to H-Town. Haven't been down in a few years. Well, come on down, Pyrotechnic. We'd love to have you take a visit. Dang it. That'd be awesome. All right. So this is just one of the articles that they have out now. Expect to pay more heat this winter. Expect to pay more for heat this winter. Energy Department says. Came out today. Okay. Americans should expect to pay, and it has this in quotation, significantly more to heat their homes this winter, the U.S. Department of Energy says. The warning comes at the start of what's known as heating season. So, in other words, we're going to get price gouged. You know why? Because they exported all of our fuel and coal and resources to other grappling countries and left us short, right? Fuel costs, which plunged last year, have increased those types of fuel. And just when the country is entering what's expected to be a colder than average winter, the department said. As we head into the winter of 2021-22, retail prices for energy are at or near multi-year highs in the United States. Briefing released this week. We expect that households across the U.S. will spend more on energy this winter compared with the past several winters because of these higher energy prices and because we assume a slightly colder winter than last year in much of the United States. Yay! Okay. Ooh, that's so awesome. It says further, you can expect to pay 30% more this winter for an average payment of $746. That's up to 30% from last year's, and that's an average. So some of you could be paying way more than that, right? Oh, yeah. Now, and see, we got a real problem with the propane. They're saying shortages are going to be on that too. So it's getting a little bit scary, right? And then you just go, okay, well, that's just one article. You're like, okay, yeah, sure. Nope, nope, nope. Several U.S. heating bills set to spike this winter thanks to inflation. Feds warn Americans to expect heating bills to rise. A winter of giant gas bills is coming. Are you ready? Grab a sweater. Heating bills to jump as colder winter looms. U.S. government expects heating bills to spike. Plan for, I guess, wind turbines. Oh, yeah. So this is going to be really fun. This is, when those days that oh, we're going to show that. When ahead of time it's going to get cold, that's the time to get what you need, because often people don't realize what's going on. It happens and you see the long line of people holding their propane tanks. Sunshine says, did you see they just demolished a coal-fired energy plant in Mississippi that had never been used and was destroyed because it's not green? Oh man, I did not hear about that, Sunshine. That's important. See, they're just doing this on purpose. Hello, Carmen Gizzy. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Carmen. Hello, y'all new here, just going to sit back and listen for a little bit. Well, I'm glad to have you here. Welcome. Hello, Keith Fancher. One of the best friends I've ever had in my whole life. Hello, I love it when you're here. And Dan, welcome back. I'm going to make sure I try to say hello to everybody. And a special thanks again to Adrian and Paul. Send prayers out for them. They're good people. Okay. So, one of the aspects of the shipping crisis, besides the obvious, we've got a sailor humanitarian crisis. We've got what you would call castaways, abandoned people on these ships. Okay. My grandpa was a sailor in the Navy in World War II and the Korean War. And so I kind of have a heart for sailors. I'm an Army brat, but I also love sailors too, And I remember he put his white sailor cap on me, and I kept that thing forever and ever. Loved my grandpa, and it fit perfectly too when I was growing up. But just see all those humans, they're bringing stuff to help us. I just wish that I had my own team that I could just go out there and, see if they need water or anything. Do they have food? It's just one of those things I'll worry about, because I'm hearing here and there that they're not doing so good. They aren't getting any supplies themselves, and they're bringing us everything. Hello, Betty Ann, Cameron, Sandy Maynard, B. Rand's back, Diana Gillespie. Hello. All right. Okay, but now they say they want to implement a 24/7 plan, 24/7 for 90 days. I hope they're kidding. Just for 90 days to more speedily unload the cargo from stranded vessels. The problem is there's some red tape for truckers getting in and out of there. I've been hearing a lot about, and it's making things a lot harder to unload, but at least maybe they're working on deals, But see, there's so much going on besides that, and I'm going to try to hang off of getting into that for just a minute and finish the topic I'm on. I can get ahead of myself sometimes. So with this deal they've been working on, Biden enlists the help of private companies to relieve shipping backlogs such as FedEx, UPS, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, and Samsung. They promised to use extended hours, which is awesome. Let's just hope we can get the truckers to the warehouses and more truckers to unload those warehouses so they don't back up too. Okay. Now, besides that, okay, hold on just a second. Stop it. Gravy, stop. Sorry, y'all. It's my cat again. One of the four, they're like little flying squirrels around here. So, stop it. But anyway, lost my track of. It's kind of hard when you've got claws in your feet. He's already coming back. Okay. Okay. I know I just already said that. We've got money in a lot of cases, but we don't necessarily have the goods. getting on the other side of the coin, there's a lot of people that don't have the money. They're not paying their debts, and banks have stopped giving out loans to a lot of people. It's harder to get loans, right? But now, having mentioned last week, I said, watch out. Bank runs could be in the future, remember? Well, suddenly, banks have begun to put $1,000 limits on wire transfers as banks fail in an attempt to prevent bank runs. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, so they are worried about bank runs too. So my intuitions have been right on the money for a while now, months and months. So it's not just the shipping crisis. And a lot of us are already aware of that. It's not just the trucker. The banks are really failing. People have to pay their debts off. That would help. I don't know if it would save anything at this point, but I know that that's a part of the problem, is that there's so much debt, because the government's not the only one who spends beyond their means. And I'm telling the truth, right? Oh, yeah, that's B-Ran. That's one of my cat's names, Gravy. I named him Gravy, Tootsie Roll, Taco, and Count Chocula for the cereal. So, yeah, that was Gravy. We call him Gray for short. He's gray anyway, so it kind of it's really cool. Dan Benson says November 26th, end of China Joe's 75-day mandate. I'm going to have to find out more about this. Why aren't they using the military to unload the ships? They're making their drive school buses and work in hospitals. Makes no sense. Nothing makes sense unless they're doing this on purpose. I mean, how in the world do you do everything wrong? I mean, everything. I mean, seriously, especially somebody with that much experience in politics. How do you consistently make the wrong decision? Okay. Yes, I have preps for the cats. I definitely do. They're getting bigger and fatter, which I love. They're all really sweet. Okay, but let's get back to it. All right. So we are looking at possible bank runs, but they're trying to prevent that. So you can't just get your money out of the bank now. You might want to check out and see what policies your banks have been putting on you lately. All right, so we can go talk about the back on the higher electricity bills, the higher heating and fuel bills. Okay, the shortages of coal highlights the need for self-sufficient energy. Okay, and it doesn't have to just be solar. There are different ways. If you look at these survival videos, and I love watching them on YouTube, other people's channels, I love seeing the different ways that they can keep warm. So it's worth checking out. When the chips are down, people will spend way more on electricity. And I know it. I felt it in my gut before they were even saying it. And now it's actually come out in the news. We're going to have to pay. And then it's not just coal, but you look in the West, they've got a drought so bad that the dam that they use to power their area is so low in water that they can't even use it, right? So it's really hard to power up everything. So the system is going to be strained. You're going to be doing like Texas did and borrow electricity from other states for a higher price, a much, much higher price. If that state or states can handle the load, you should be on the lookout for rolling blackouts. Okay. Dangerous Planet, this is a name of a channel on YouTube. He reports that California residents lost power due to a fresh fire burning since Monday. Okay. Then you look at all these articles. Report warns of high heating costs this winter. Have fun with that, right? Okay, now for us, where I'm at, Southeast Texas side, Northern Houston area, metro area, the temps are about to make their first true big dip. But today's Thursday, right? So tomorrow, we're going to start the day with 90-degree temperatures. Hot, but not too hot, manageable. But in the middle of the night, we're going to hit 50 degrees. So we're going to have a 40-degree temperature drop. That's right. So we're going to have to get out a couple of blankets. And make sure that our solar backup's okay, because we're having a little bit of rain, and I need to make sure what days we're going to have sunshine. Just, I could plug them into the wall and charge them, but I'm thinking, man, I want free electricity. Let's check over some of these comments. Yeah, I found out one of some of my family members have taken it. And, I'm in the same boat as everybody else on people that have taken it and people that haven't. It's just something that you have no control over, really. On purpose, planned is what B-Ran said. I really think so. Mismanagement on steroids. When you really, yes, I believe it's all of that. But what it really honestly boils down to is we're in the last days. People were supposed to become more dark. They were supposed to wax worse and worse, that we're unholy, and the other ones were supposed to be refined in the fire, repent, wash their garments, and, walk into the light more, become light. And you're seeing a lot of that. You're seeing that people are changing. Maybe like with the power grid issues that we're having, it's several different things in play. But at the root of it, it's all something coming from an evil place that's making people more aggressive, more violent, more argumentative, less forgiving, very accusatory, and more animalistic. They are devoid of honor or true humanity. So what we're looking at more and more is what is going to bring us to the fifth seal. If it hasn't already been popped, it's definitely next on the list. And where else do you get martyrs unless people have become so evil that things like that are taking place? That's light against dark. That's the world. And that's something that no matter where it comes from, it's coming. It's here, along with the fallen angels. They're here too. They like to, that's what leaders that are on the dark side, they like to do. They like to congregate with entities. They like their rituals, and the fallen angels were supposed to come back, aka disguised as aliens. I mean, sounds wild, but it's kind of in the news anyway. But the fallen angels are here. Wickedness is here. You see what I'm saying? So don't be so surprised. But I tell you what, the one thing that scares me is somebody coming at me trying to eat my face off. I'm going to be like so aware, like always watching people, seeing if they're acting crazy or if they walk up on me fast. I'm serious. I don't want somebody just eating my face off, because that's about where we are right now. People are gone crazy. Okay? That was a neat little blip. Oh. Did I say hello to Ann? I hope so. Hello, Ann. My rent, small 2-bedroom, $1,350, 200 electric. My income is gone. Not taking the abomination. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I think it was Paul and Adrian's channel. I was like, look, don't sell your birthright for a bowl of soup. And I think it was Esau. It was somebody in the Bible. He did just that. I guess he was hungry and sold a really important birthright that he had that was worth way more than that bowl of soup. And he cheated himself over a bowl of soup. So just lets you know. Yeah, look, Calico 45. Good to see you, sweetie. K King, welcome. Good. All right. So yeah, they're looking for human sacrifices, and they like people to be afraid. But see, a martyr is kind of a human sacrifice. They're just sacrifices in a different way. Martyrs are people that die for a cause. It's and these people are alive today because the Bible says they're supposed to be here. People that really make everybody proud for standing for what they believe in, even unto death. They loved not their lives, even unto death. Isn't that in Revelation 12? Okay, so I was right. It was Esau. Okay, cool beans. Thank you, B-Ran. Thank you. All right. See, I'm not able to keep up with all of the comments because there's so many. And want to welcome all of you. 14 thumbs up. Thank you so much. I want to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't and share out the videos. And that really helps the comment a lot. I love your thumbs up and I love your comments. I always love your comments. It's one of my favorite. Oh, yeah. And they want to know what our religious thing against that is. I mean, what was it? They were talking about the whore of Babylon in the Bible and Revelation, and they were saying something about, you taught my children to eat meat sacrificed to idols. It just kind of comes to mind when I hear that. And I'm just like, that's wrong. That's wrong. You shouldn't ever take. Those were sacrifices. I mean, speaking of sacrifices. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. That's right. You found it, K King. That's right. You knew exactly what I was talking about. That is Revelation 12, if I'm not mistaken. So when you talk, that's the chapter about the bride. The people that love God so much and that have Jesus in their heart and the testimony of Jesus Christ and his sacrifice for our sins, that they will go even unto death. They will not sell their birthright so they can fill their stomach temporarily. Revelation 12. What's up with the live cut at the White House? William Shatner talking about distraction is coming to the earth live this morning. I did not see that, Calico 45. I'll have to catch up on that. Hello from New Hampshire. Hello and welcome, Kelly Gear. I'm so glad to see you here. This is awesome. This is really awesome. Very glad. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, y'all, we've got spiritual things. They said always when I was growing up that the world would be shaking because we were in last days, but also because of the evil. It was like the earth was reacting to the evil that's on the planet, that there's so much of it. Okay. So it goes to show you that you can't just say, yes, I believe in God and live the life that you want to with that's wicked and be like, oh, God's not going to be mad. He loves us. He won't do anything. Like, take a look around. You do need to repent. Okay. It's not just knowing, it's giving your heart over, and out of your heart comes your deeds, whether they be good or whether they be bad. And right now we're having the ultimate test. Okay. We're going to have our creature comforts taken away from us, meaning the grocery stores, our power, our ability to own land, or maybe even have a country. We're going to have those things. And so I just don't want you to be shocked. You just got to find out what's more important to you. I mean, really, think about it. What's happening that is so great on this planet that's going to be hard? I know a lot of you might say, okay, well, your kids, but at some point they're going to take even those from you. You see what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, you give up everything. You let go. You have to. And you grab onto the one thing that'll float this boat. And that's Jesus. Yeah, I mean, the things that actors do nowadays, politics, going into space, it's just a little strange, isn't it? Rampant evil, as in the days of Noah, they were eating, drinking, giving in marriage, having children. Hello, Beth Ann. So glad to see you back. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. A lot of people stopped having kids, not wanting them to grow up and things like this, okay? So I think that it's, we've talked about solar backup, but now it's like I'm starting to feel in my spirit that the next thing we need to talk about is gas masks. How many of you own them? And how many of you even have any idea how much they even cost? Well, I didn't know. I don't have one yet because I was, worried about this part of the plan or this part, just whatever little bit I could do at a time over the years. But I did happen to look them up, and they have them in stock still. I don't know if it's a regular price, but I saw them $21 to $75. No, I'm sure you can find more expensive if you want to, but they do have them for sale. So I don't know why, but at some point you might need them. You never know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You have two. That's wonderful. Good to see you too. Awake, welcome. Shatner's in his night. You would think, right? It's like, golly, these people are just so up there in age and they're going into space. I can't even drive up the Rocky Mountains without getting altitude sickness. If I go up in a plane, same thing. I just fall right to sleep at a certain altitude, and you can't wake me up until we descend. And that man can make it to space? Huh. Keith says, I was worried about Cubra Vieja sliding off into the ocean, creating a tsunami starting the day I found out about the volcano erupting. A lot of people have been worried about that. A lot of people. And it's going to be such a continuing thing that we can watch it, but I mean, there's never going to be a way to know unless there's like, and because it could just suddenly drop. But a lot of times you'll see the cracking in the right places first, and it'll grow more prominent, and it won't just be cracking in random areas. It'll be cracking. It'll show you that some part of it's getting ready to slide. And I haven't really been hearing that yet. That's good. That's smart, Beth Ann. Ann says, okay, that's to Keith. I was 13 watching Shatner, now 66, right? Baby boomers retiring early because of the mandates. You know what? Speaking of mandates, Southwest Airlines, all those canceled flights, thousands of flights, they're due to the protest for these mandates. And you know that they also bring, like mail in these airplanes, freight. So some packages might take a couple more weeks because, I mean, you think about it, California's got mandates out the wazoo along with New York, but California, it's the part where, the plugs are at, the backlogs. So a lot of things don't come to us through the airplanes now too. And then you go to Texas and it's a ban on mandates. Something's got to give, right? But it's not just Southwest Airlines. Salty Cracker reports that doctors in Scotland, now get this, how many times have I said to y'all that have been here around, whenever they say in the newspaper that scientists or doctors are quote unquote baffled at some mysterious thing, they really actually know, and you should be really cueing in on what this title's trying to say. And it says, doctors in Scotland are baffled at the mysterious rise in heart attacks. Now, all of y'all in the know would know exactly how these rises in heart attacks and these protests over mandates are linked. Hello, Fiddlesticks. I'm so glad to see you. Welcome back. Fiddlesticks. Read between the lines. Exactly, Awake. Exactly. You've got to read between the lines. Okay, so yeah, Abbott just signed a ban on the cootie stick for employment mandates. But still, like when I went to my Kroger the other day, it said that you have to wear a mask if you're not stuck. And it's still strongly recommended if the stuck, wear a mask too. And I'm like, first of all, I'm epileptic. I need the oxygen or I start having seizures. So we're just going to, no, we're not going to have a mask on my face. Plus I'm not even sick. So I'm not wearing that stupid thing. And besides that, they really can't do anything. There's no law that says that I'm doing anything wrong. Not in my state if I don't wear a mask. And if I were sick, I wouldn't want to go anywhere anyway. I'm at home. I turn into a big old baby. And I've got my vitamin C. my zinc, and my cold and flu medicine. And I just stick it out with some soup, and I'm good. Socks, remote. I mean, that's right. Now, they're not even treating a lot of people, but, I'm afraid to get any kind of illness, kidney infection. I'm prone to those. I'm afraid to have a heart attack. I'm afraid to have a grand mal seizure because I don't know what they're going to label as. I don't know what if they're going to even treat me because I won't take their garden variety of drugs. Oh, yeah. I was seeing what Paul and Adrian reporting on the parasites, the little alien. Ugh. I don't want anything alive moving in me unless it's my own DNA based cells and, stuff that comes from me naturally. I don't need anything. That's disgusting. Okay. It's like that movie Host, but not so nice. I saw some 16-year-old girl is paralyzed in my city and they're saying it's the West Nile virus. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, metal shards. Yeah. Let's hope the military doesn't replace the workers saying, see, I think that might be a big reason that there are so many shortages because all of the most important jobs, they just fired everybody that's qualified and willing to work these positions. And a lot of them, like I said, are probably bit the dust, because it was, doctors took it too and they, died, right? Hello, Dr. Tamara Worley. Ooh, girl. Ooh. I'm just reading some of the comments, y'all. I was thinking there's something about probably never going to the hospital. Yeah, I worry about that too. I've heard of some antibiotics at fish stores. They're the same as what I heard. I'm doing research, but I mean, talking about amoxicillin is there. I'm like, what? Stuff like that. Gonna check it out. Snake Jones 19. Alrighty. Okay. London, France, Kosovo, New York, and Southern Africa are also protesting mandates now. And so, didn't they tell us that in the last days, there would be a huge civil unrest, wars and rumors of wars, and economic problems and the waves roaring and earthquakes in diverse places kind of thing, right? Ta-da! It's all here. Pestilence, disease, it's here. Things falling out of the sky. Urchange is always talking about the Trojans are coming, and those, by name would just say, okay, yeah, they're gonna be the ones you don't see. They just kind of hit, right? Thank you for the thumbs up. That's 20 thumbs up. Thank you. Okay. Star Wars, deploy them, then send them in the blue hats. Why is it an anti-parasite? Okay. Maybe the doctor can answer that question. Okay, Kelly, welcome. And okay, see, that's what I was thinking. Because I worked in pharmacy. I was like, it says exactly the same thing as it did on the bottles that I was filling scripts for every single day. And there's always something to learn in the pharmacy. You never really, if you're pharmacy tech, I know for me, there was never ever knowing everything. There's always something new that we're learning. There's always something new that was coming along, whether it be codes or new laws or something. They're pushing this evil wicked. I won't go there. Yeah, and God hears the cries of his children. He does. I just still feel like, there aren't enough people listening, but God's going to make it so that he gets people's attention. I know he's got ours, but we're just the ones that have the eyes to see it right now and the ears to hear it and the understanding of it, right? Everybody else, they've got scales on their eyes. They're blind. They're not putting two and two together. They can't see what's right in front of them, right? Yep, you're absolutely right, Snake Jones 19. This war was won. Jesus says, don't worry, I've overcome the world. That's right, the blood of the Lamb. Even in Revelation 12, says they overcame these fallen angels by the word of their testimony and the blood of the Lamb. It's already defeated in heaven, and that's how we defeat him here. Jesus, the blood is the that's the key. The key is the blood of Jesus, of Christ. And you got to it just really, you see the way that families are being torn apart. And so you're really getting to understand personally now what the wheat being separated from the tares meant. When you would read that 20 years ago, you didn't take it as personally, like these are people that you know. People that you care about are going to be part of a different group than you. And you, in a lot of cases, you can't talk them out of that, right? We're all going through this. It's all hard, but we have each other. We're here to encourage each other. Oh, Dan. Oh, you put a smile on my face, sweetie. Yes, yes. Awake, and he will. He's going to shake this earth. Oh, and speaking of shaking, there's one thing that makes him pretty mad, and that's Israel. And right now they're getting ready to reopen the Palestinian Consulate in Jerusalem, and on the face of it, it would look fair, and that they're looking to, I guess, really be fair about things. But what prophecy and what God has told me is that one day they're going to divide Jerusalem east and west, and they're going to divide parts of Israel in half. And so really, the move to the consulate to Palestine could easily be the next step in dividing Jerusalem, because they're having a lot of talks. I mean, it is not in the front news, but you can look, just Google two-state solution past week. And there's always these talks going on, even to the point where, like, Abbas before, like 4 years ago, he had nothing to do. He wouldn't talk. He wouldn't come to the table. Now he wants to come to the table. And he's saying, well, if Israel doesn't want to come to the table, then they just need to take these rules. And, he really wants to talk now. He's being very encouraged. So the whole point is that it's prophecy fulfillment. You see that? And when you divide Israel, and we wonder, that's, if you were to pay attention, you notice that disasters are correlating still with the talks that they're having. And they're on all scales too. Okay. Keith says, I keep trying to follow the money to figure this whole situation out, and I keep finding such abstract patterns. It's all connected, though. It's all connected. A house divided cannot stand. That's right. And they've done a really great job of dividing America. That's why I've done that video. It was the same day, it turned out. And a few hours after I uploaded that video, or did live stream, I don't know which one it was, but George Floyd came out in the news just a few hours later. That's the day it broke. And I called it the preemptive division of America. And I was talking about society. So it actually happened that day. And they keep trying to bring up bad emotions, things that are dividing. And yeah, it's a symbol of things that are going to manifest in the physical. Okay. There's a lot of people trying to say Israel isn't part of this, like we always believed. Well, you know that they will say that, but the truth is always the truth. That's right. Awake, we'll eat manna. That's right. I told you, it doesn't matter how hungry we get. They have a great dinner waiting on us, so we might as well come with an appetite. Hello. Would you rather be full when you go to eat the best food of your whole life ever? No. We have an appetite. Get that food. I can't wait. I mean, they got the nicest silverware. The tables are all dressed up, the chairs, we've got clothes. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay if I go hungry for a little while. All right. Okay, I think I did go over everything. Oh, except for the fact, okay, I've been testing the 600-watt solar backup that I got, and the panels. It'll say they're 100-watt, but I still haven't gotten any panels, whether they're 4 of them together or 2, to really go over 52 watts in direct sun. So I'm still trying to figure that out. But the battery itself, I was able to run my daughter's Xbox and her TV just to test it out for several hours, and only took 25%. Just in the Xbox, I think takes a lot of energy. Okay. So it looks like it can last quite a while on a few things. Now, it turned out actually the fan that's my best fan, it took more wattage than everything, all by itself. It was like 65 watts. But it's just something. It's something that you don't necessarily have to charge it just by solar, but it's good to test that out because you can charge it in the car. Maybe somebody does have electricity and you can charge it up there pretty quick. You see what I'm saying? You can do those things. And that big one that I showed y'all, it has dual charging ability. Needs to run a refrigerator. The one I got can run a mini fridge, which I just happen to have. That's also an energy saver fridge. It's $229 at Home Depot. Well, last I looked, if they have it, right? But yes. And this one happened to be able to charge it while you use it, and a lot of those don't have that option. Okay. All righty. Let me just make sure that we've talked about everything, because I do have to go pick up my daughter soon. I want you to keep the sailors that are on the coast in your prayers. And Paul and Adrian, they're good people. And I want to thank all of you for coming. It's always such a pleasure to see you. And again, I want to thank all of you, especially the new subscribers coming in and the subscribers who've been here all along. God bless you all. And I'm probably going to see you all on Sunday. So we'll have a good time then. All right. Bye, y'all.